ValveTime.net.
Hi, and welcome to the ValveTime News. Each week we'll bring you the biggest talking points regarding Valve software and the community. Now, the news. Steam Greenlight received its scheduled update this week on November the 30th, which added a third set of greenlit titles to the service. The update saw the arrival of 13 new games and, more importantly, the first 6 software titles. A few of the game titles that were added include Dragon's Lair, No Time to Explain, and Euro Truck Simulator 2. Apparently, there was quite a demand. And yes, Dragon's Lair is that game from 1983, making it most likely the oldest game currently on Steam. As for software, Action Screen Recorder and Bandicam Game Recorder were both added, clearly showing the gamer demand for high-quality video recording software. In the same press release, Alden Kroll of Valve also mentioned how the inclusion of Greenlight has helped the Steam indie market grow by 50% for the third consecutive year. Obviously, this is good news for independent developers, so hopefully this promotes even more developers to move their titles over to Steam. If you're listening, Polytron, do us a favor and please put Fez on Steam. What is it, the little cute Gomez is at? In other, much smaller Steam news, the number of concurrent Steam users hit 6 million at one point during the autumn sale. This is the largest number of concurrent users in Steam's history, which shows us that Valve knows how to make money. Speaking of money, if you're one of those people who don't quite feel safe putting your bank card details online, fear not! Steam wallet codes have now been officially rolled out in the game retail stores across the United Kingdom. This is the first time the codes have been made available in the UK, which demonstrates Valve's growing push to add Steam wallet codes to major retailers across the world. GameStop became the first retailer to sell the wallet codes earlier this year in the US, but we never talked about it on the show since it was a pretty boring news story. Anyway, moving on. It seems like videos and interviews are all the rage recently. Gabe was interviewed on LAGD a few weeks ago, a show on New Media Rights Studios' YouTube channel. In the interview, Gabe talks about collaboration in the game industry, the introduction of Steam, and many more topics which you can check out via the link in the description. And no, don't ask us why the interview is split into 13 different video parts, although part of the reason might be to increase their view count. Maybe we should try that. If you feel like one interview isn't enough for you, why not also check out Half-Life and sci-fi writer Marc Laidlaw's interview with New Rising Media, in which he talks about his personal attraction to video games, his fondness for the horror genre, and yes, they do ask about Half-Life 3. Before you get too excited, he quickly changes the subject to Dota 2. Sorry, kids. A link to both interviews will be provided in the video description. In video news, the second annual Saxxy Awards took place on Friday night at midnight GMT. The event took place on the official Team Fortress 2 blog, in which nominees for different categories were periodically revealed and awarded as the night went on. The first announced winners were the creators behind the short Elements, which won for the Best Original Universe category after Valve expressed in a blog post that they had significantly fewer submissions than they would have liked, and that it made more sense to announce the winners for this category earlier than the rest. As for the other main categories, Meet the Dumpster Diver took home the Saxxy for Best Action, while Epic Hi-Fi Fail won for Best Replay. For Best Comedy, Wishmaker by Max of S2D took the Saxxy, and as we all guessed, Bad Medicine by Zachariah Scott took Best Drama. Congratulations to all the winners. Enjoy smashing people over the head with large golden statues of a topless badass in Team Fortress 2. Don't forget to check out the Video Game Awards pre-show on Friday, December 7, 2012, which will officially reveal the Saxxy winner of the Best Overall category. An update to Team Fortress 2 earlier that day revealed that all voters would receive the cosmetic Saxxy Clapper badge for participating, and all finalists would receive the Memory Maker, a camera which acts as a melee weapon. If you fit into either of these categories, start up your game now to receive your items if you haven't already. In other update news, Dota 2 received a sizable patch earlier this week. The patch, which was never officially referred to by Valve, included several visual improvements such as an updated skin for Broodmother and improved visual effects for the Hand of Midas item. The update also included the introduction of a new courier, the Ramknot of Underwool, which will be given to players who purchase a League Pass for the Defense 3 tournament. A variety of new props and visual effects for the upcoming Winter Game Mode were also added alongside a few updates for unreleased heroes such as Medusa, Shredder, Troll Warlord, and Bristleback. You can check out the full changelog on Cyborg Map's website, available via a link in the video description. Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Episode 2, and Portal were all updated this week. The patch follows Portal 2's update last week by adding big picture mode support for all of these games, and that also includes controller support. We're glad to see Valve officially updating older games in order to make them more user-friendly for players who may be more comfortable using an Xbox 360 controller. It's probably only a matter of time until Ricochet finally gets its big picture mode update. Speaking of Portal, the game was added to the New York City Museum of Modern Art alongside 13 others. The games, which also include the likes of Pac-Man, Tetris, Myst, and SimCity 2000, are set to go on display in the museum in March 2013 to display the multitude of ways games can be viewed as art. Stay tuned and we'll let you know if we learn more about this story as March approaches. NECA revealed their latest addition to Valve's lineup of official statuettes and action figures earlier this week with the unveiling of the Chell 7-inch limited edition figurine. The figure features over 20 points of articulation and includes a light-up mini replica of the portal gun. This being about the fourth light-up mini portal gun we've seen recently. Where does it end? The figure will be limited to 15,000 units worldwide and is estimated for release in February 2013, just in time for Nick and Glenn's birthdays. That brings us to the end of another week of Valve news. If your appetite for source filmmaker videos wasn't quite satisfied with the Saxxy Awards, why not head on over to the open source filmmaker Steam community group and check out their Robot Week. The themed week began on Saturday the 1st of December 2012 and will run until next week, so head on over to check out their work or get involved. For anyone who's keeping track, their group pretty much won all the Saxxy Awards, and frankly it's not too big a surprise. Also, be sure to check out Half-Life Chain Reaction Part 1, the first part of a Half-Life inspired live-action fan fiction which is part of Machinima's Interactive Film Festival. A video link will be available on screen after this week's ValveTime News Time Trivia Time! Last week, we asked who was the other co-founder of Valve alongside Gabe Newell. The answer was, as many of you rightly said, Mike Harrington, Gabe's longtime friend and Microsoft colleague. Well done if you got the answer right, but in what year did the pair found Valve? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to stay up to date with Valve news. Stay tuned for more ValveTime videos, news, and reviews coming soon. Bye for now.